What up, what up? How we doing? What's up, Dylan? How's it going, man? Dragon, what up? Matthew, what up? Hang on, let me turn my air off. Full porting today? No. What's the box supposed to mean? Just something I'm keeping an eye on. Just pay no attention to that. I feel like that looks super zoomed in for you guys. Trying that 15-minute orb. There you go. You paper trading, Matthew? I would hope. Still. I appreciate that, Dylan. I'm glad they're helping, dude. Day 2. Should be an interesting day. We do have news at 10 o'clock. News at 10. Manufacturing PMI. What up? Man, I've still got this crap in my throat. Waiting for 8:15. What time frame are you in? Because it's 9 o'clock here. East Coast time, New York time, UTC 5. p.m. You guys thawed out up there at all? Over there in Moscow? Appreciate that, Kyle. It's good to be back, man. It's been so cold, a lot of snow, negative 20 Celsius. Holy crap, dude. Yeah, that's cold. Pull this chart over here. Can you look at Oklo? Hawklo? I don't know what that is, man. What's up, Dakota? How's it going, man? 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Do you wait for news then trade after? It'll depend on what we're seeing here. We just took London. If we just all of a sudden for some reason started dumping after this and we saw a decent setup here, we might get involved after. We would definitely wait for market to open though. It's going all right, man. Getting over this whatever crap sickness that I had. A little I don't know what it was, man. Something in my chest. We're getting there though. Is it better to take an entry off the 5 minute or 1 minute? It depends on what time frame the setup is on, man. It depends on it. I don't like to favor one time frame over the other. Obviously, anything from the 5 minute down is what I like to take an entry off of from the 5-minute up is what I like to look for, kind of directional bias or just an idea of where we're going. Anyone have any advice on how to approach news, trade before or after? My rule of thumb is I wait for the dust to settle. I don't try to time the news. I don't try to predict the news. I let I let the dust settle and then try to make a move afterwards. I think that's the most professional way to approach it in terms of being responsible. I appreciate that, Trader Mom. Appreciate that a lot. Ate my post-workout meal, drinking bone broth, waiting to trade. Dude, you're crushing it, bro. Please make me some liquidity. I'll do my best, man. Looking for a long entry on NQ. Definitely wait for the trade after 11 UTC5. Thoughts on the silver and gold dump? It was headed back up last time I checked. Looks like we might be headed back down now. It's just a correction, man. I think some people are looking way too much into it, but there's some people who know a lot more about this stuff than I do who say this is a bad sign. But I don't necessarily subscribe to the doomsday, fear mongering. But like I said, there's people who know a lot more than I do. I mean, that's unprecedented. The drop that we had on Friday, a 30% loss in the value of silver is pretty wild. There is no consistency on Apex 50K evals. You can pass in one trade if you hit a banger. Jose, what's up, man? Appreciate you. On funded, it's 30% between payouts. So every payout, it resets. So if you're on a funded, one trading day can equal more than 30% of your total profits at the time of the payout. Correction was due. It ran for 9 months straight. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where it goes in the next couple of months. From my understanding, silver's in high demand because of the AI. There's some components that go along with these data centers and AI that require silver. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I read. So I don't think that demand is going to go away unless they're finding alternative things to use, which somebody might know in the chat might know more than I do about all of that, but that's my understanding. Yo. Miss seeing that tree. It's there, man. What happens if I made 2.6 on my first day funded? You got to do the math on that, man. You got to do the math on that when you go to take a payout, because you can, if you trade every day after you activate your funded, it's 8 trading days, 5 of which have to be a profit of $50 or more on Apex in order to be eligible for a payout. If at that point you haven't been consistently hitting big days like that, then you're going to have to keep trading until you make up for that. Get the hell out of here with your bot stuff, man. You have to do the math on that. It's always important to read the rules before you start trading, because you just created a lot of work for yourself, to be honest. You should, if you have a fresh 50K Apex funded account, you shouldn't target anything more than like $1,200 on the first trading day. Change my trading account to 50K to be ready funded. There you go. And Matthew, what I would do if I was you, man, not a bad idea to like go to whatever firm that you think you'll trade with when you do start trading with a prop firm, whether that's Tradeify or Lucid or whatever, and look up the rules, like the target profit and the max drawdown and all that, and kind of like, since you're already trying to simulate an eval, go ahead and just keep those rules in mind. Like, I think your max loss limit if you're trading with Tradeify would be 2,000. So if that paper account drops below 48,000, you would technically have blown an eval. And keep like little things like that in mind. Not to like throw. The main thing you should be focused on is developing a strategy right now, not really the payout or the prop firm rules. But it's, if you want to, just for your own humor, just to keep that in mind. Did I miss the verse of the day? I posted it in Discord. I'll read it real quick. I liked it a lot. Verse of the day, Ecclesiastes 7:9. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Yes, sir. Show the 15? Yeah. This is NQ. Does ICT work? In my opinion, any strategy can work. It's all about the discipline and the trading system that you set up. You could theoretically, you could trade trend line, supply and demand, order flow, anything really, in my opinion, can work. Obviously, some strategies are more effective than others, but overall, any strategy can work. It's a question of, can you follow a set of rules that prevent you from losing more money than you make? And I know that sounds very simplistic, but it's the hardest thing to do in trading, is to have rules and stick to them that protect you. What's up, Jay? How's it going, man? Big J with the payout on Friday, man. And not just like a little ho-hum payout either. $8,000, man. That's huge. Matthew, if you're trading the 15-minute orb, you don't trade on the 15-minute chart. You mark it out on the 15 like I have here, and then you would drop down to the 1 and you wait for a retest and a break. If you're trading RP strategy, he has some good videos on it. But what you would do is you'd wait for this to come retest the CE of the 15-minute that you have marked out, and you'd wait for a break of structure back to the direction you're targeting. Would ideally, in this case, I think it's going to be long. So that's what I would recommend doing. Drop down to the 1 minute time frame when you're waiting for market open. And we could dump at market open. So don't marry the idea that we're going to go long here. I mean, obviously that's the way it looks. We look very bullish right now. But keep in mind that we do have this new week opening gap above us here that we could tap into like we did earlier and reject right back out of it. So we'll see. Going to be attempting my first eval pretty soon here. I've heard from many people that I should size up during eval phase, but I'm unsure how much I should size up. I would say if it's your first eval, don't worry about that. The sizing up thing is something that you should do once you've been consistently passing evals. You don't want to be stuck in the eval phase. The longer it takes, the statistics show that the longer it takes you to pass an eval, the less success you have in a funded. So, but if it's your first eval, you need to just focus on developing a system that works. You're still in the learning phase. You're still in the trying to make sure that your strategy is successful. So don't worry about sizing up. I would stick to maybe 5 micros and don't fluctuate your sizing. Stick to a sizing, stay there. 5 micros and just trade that. Which money? I'm not sure what that means. What's the fear that the USD collapses? It's not going to happen, man. That is not going to happen. At least not for a while. Christian, please make me some liquidity today. What app do you use to trade on Alpha Future accounts? I use TradingView and TradeAvate. So you purchase the TradeAvate account, which I think is the only option. And then you activate TradingView inside of TradeAvate, and then you sign into TradingView. If it retests for 9:30, should I enter? No. Wait for 9:30. What do you think about silver? It's wild, man. It's headed back up. This is silver right here. It's headed back up. Could be, I mean, you're building up a lot of low resistance sell side liquidity here, so it could come back down to the VWAP and retest. But I still think that was just a retracement, a correction, and it's going to continue to go up. Maybe not at the pace that it was before, but I think it's fine. Bought silver at 18. Bought silver at 18. What do you mean? So in 2022 or 2020? When was it? $2022. How much did you get? Looking into order flow and saw the use of the volume footprint. I got to pay $700 a year, $700 yearly. It's cheaper than Bookmap. You don't necessarily have to pay that. You can use Bookmap. Bookmap's about $100 a month. Quant Tower, yeah, I've heard people talk about Quant Tower. I've never looked into Quant Tower. Nicholas, what's up, man? Hugo, what's up? What is this, gold? No, this is NQ. I don't trade precious metals. I don't trade Globex. How you feeling after last week? I'm good. I'm getting better. Still got a little congestion in my throat, in my chest, but we're good. Hopped on to see if, are you on NQH? Are you on the right contract? Make sure you're on NQH 2026. Should have live data. You're on ES? Yeah, you should have ESH 2026. It should be live. You should see a green symbol in the top, like middle top of your chart. Longs or short today, we'll see. We'll see how we react in this gap, in this new week opening gap here. First time I hear about NQ. Interesting. So many levels of liquidity above, yeah. There's plenty below too. Plenty above and below. We're prepared for either eventuality. You're on ES1. Make sure you're on ESH because contracts, remember we were talking about contracts expire and they go, there's different contracts. So ESH is the current contract. ES1 should automatically put you in the right one, but just for assurance purposes, make sure you're on ESH. What's up, Benjamin? How's it going, man? Can you show how you open a position through TradingView? You can either click the buy sell in the top left corner, or if you're trying to put a market order, or excuse me, a limit order on the chart, you could right click and do that. If you're doing a buy, you can, put it down there like that, right click and do that. Pretty easy. Seem like a good man. What's your win rate? Currently, it's only about 67%. It's gone down recently. I struggled really bad in January, man. I was red in January. I did not have a good month. What's the bias today? I don't have one yet, man. Obviously, I think market structure wise, we're looking at longs potentially, but we're sitting here in this new week opening gap right now, rejecting out of it a little bit here, and just swept London high. Could definitely see a rejection lower here, but we'll see. We got 8 minutes here till market open. I have London high marked at 25,527.25. And if you're on the 5-minute chart, it was the 5-minute candle from 7:45 on NQ. Should I stick to one unit, one contract? Yeah. Yeah, stick to one contract. 1 minute, what you would call one mini. You're on the mini chart, so it would be one mini. So if you don't want to trade 5 contract, novice, where it says 5, you can't see it on the screen here, but in the top left corner between buy and sell, you'll see the number of contracts you have, or that you have selected. You can drop that down to 1 or whatever number you want. Trading minis. I only trade metals, but NQ is interesting as well. Yeah, I definitely would rather trade NQ than metals currently. Although there have been some nice movements with gold. I mean, both have had nice movements. It's just so volatile, man. You can get cooked really easily. Do you ever place trade before 9:30? Sometimes, but not typically. Sometimes I do, yeah. Should I market or limit order for orb? You want to do a limit order, or excuse me, you want to do a market order. You don't want to do a limit order, because if you set a limit order, man, you could just have price completely below through your order. So what you're looking to see here is, since you're trading the orb, I have it marked out right here for you. So I have the 15 marked out from 8 to 8:15. What you're going to want to see is this come in, reject off of the CE of this gap, and then show you clear signs that it's going to go back higher. If you set a limit order, it could just blow right through it and keep going down. If it keeps going down, you're obviously not going to open the trade. So what you want to see is a clear rejection off the CE of the consequent encroachment. That's CE of this gap, which is basically just the 50% of the gap, or of the 15-minute candle. I passed on a 50K Apex eval. Can you give some advice to get toward the payouts, please? Size down, and take it slow. Just look for base hits, man. $200, $300 days. $100, $200, $300 days. Those are fine. Be fine with that. Take 1 or 2 trades and keep moving with your day, man. Don't sit on the charts. Don't camp out. Be satisfied with those little base hits and let those stack up. Don't change your sizing. If you take a win on a couple micros, don't automatically switch over to minis and then take an L, because you're just wiping out your losses. Don't make mistakes like that. Do Do you ever touch silver? Not really, man. I have before. I've gotten cooked. I've made a bunch of money. I've just decided I'd rather stick with NQ and ES. A little bit daily adds up, absolutely. So with TPT, I do a little bit different. This is why it just depends on the firm you're trading with. With TPT, I'll trade a mini or two, and then if the trade starts coming back on me at all, I'll close it. Just because it's got that trailing drawdown up to your buffer. So, I look for a lot smaller trades. Like instead of looking for like a pullback here and then a target all the way up to all the way up to Asia high, if we got to pull back into this gap, I'd only be looking for a trade on TPT up to that swing high. So stuff like that. It's just you kind of get used to different firms' rules. So with Apex, what I would do is I would be sized down with micros and be looking for a little bit longer trade. But TPT definitely would be cutting the trade off as soon as it starts to come back. Where's my Asia high? Asia high is on NQ. It's at 25,645.75. Is it true the Fed are injecting money into the markets today? They're injecting money every day. You're talking about like a more so than usual. They're printing money constantly. So I haven't heard anything about some sort of massive injection of any sort of stimulus or anything like that. I don't know what that news is. Did you load up on a bunch of Apex with the sale? I didn't. No, man, I'm focused on these Tradeify accounts right now. Gonna try to stack these and get some payouts on there and then expand the portfolio. You could do either one. It's just the rule of thumb with that trailing drawdown is I just don't let trades come back on me. I keep a very tight trailing stop on those TPT accounts until I hit the buffer. How long is that code open for TPT? I'm not sure. I don't know that it's going away anytime soon, so you got time. There's no rush. As far they haven't notified us as their affiliates that there's an expiration on that. So I say that and then watch tomorrow they like cut it off or something. They've not notified me of any sort of expiration on that sale. So don't feel rushed to take advantage of it. Is that a breaker? No. I have a buddy in here who's trading the 15-minute orb. He's trying to learn trading, and the 15-minute orb strategy makes sense to him. And I have this marked out so that I can kind of help him keep an eye on this. For liquidity tracker, do you look at the numbers on EMA? I don't keep that on all the time, Hugo. I find that to be sometimes more distracting. I can read, I can see on the right side of my chart. I don't know if you can see it if the numbers are too small or not, but I can see the order sizes. I can see exactly, like up there at 69.75 on ES, we have 269 sell orders stacked up there. So I can read that without that indicator on, and sometimes that gets a little jumbled on the chart. I don't like to let it get too crazy. Here's market open. We are pushing hard right at the open. Yeah, that's the 8 a.m. Yeah. What's up, man? My guy's back. I am. We're here. Just put straight into that 15-minute. Yep. ES is coming down some, and Q's still pumping. There's Asia. No quad espresso? You know better. Come on, Kyle. Got my mason jar of coffee. Caden, I'm on the tube as well. Oh, I forgot to do the Discord stream today. I started doing a Discord stream as well. I forgot to fire that up today. You have an open position? No. Guess who's becoming an RIA? There you go, man. What do you need for that? Your Series 7, a couple other things? Pushing right back up here, potentially. Think it's coming all the way down to the London low. The Asia low would be at the wick low of that. PO3. Series 65 and SEC registration, either LLC or firm to work with. There you go. Go on the independent route. Nice, man. You know what you could do if you wanted to be a little clever? I probably shouldn't say that. Never mind. I'm not going to suggest that on stream. Will you be taking trades for the news? If we see a setup, if we see a juicy opportunity, we'll definitely jump on it. Hit me up with a text with it. Yeah, I got you. Theoretically, how do I say this? I don't think this is like illegal. It might be unethical, but what you could do is you could have financial advisor managing a small amount of your own money, somebody who's a professional, been doing it for years and years and years, and then you are, as the RIA for your own people, are just mirror what they do. Just mirror the moves that they make. So obviously you're paying, what, a 1% fee to the people who are managing your small portfolio, but you're then taking their moves and mirroring them over to the people who you're representing or managing. Basically copy trading. Maybe even one specific group, yeah. I feel like the SEC would catch on. I don't know that that's illegal though. I don't think that is illegal. I don't think there's anything. It might be a little unethical, but done trading for today. Did you hit something, BC? 70-12 point of control. Is that on the 1 hour or the 45-minute? What I don't understand that this thing that shows me the point of control always shows it on different time frames. So it has it close to that on the 1 hour chart, Nick. Yeah. Price is not messing with the 8 a.m. candle. Yeah, it's not. It did not get a pullback. And at this point, I'd be very hesitant to take it. Maybe you could. I would size down potentially. I mean, you can't really size down if you're trading minis, but I'd want clear confirmation that it rejects out of this if we do retest. Because if we come all the way down there, we could be headed even lower. I'll show you guys what the book map looks like because I'm sure some people are curious here. Get it squared away. Here's the book map. My trade hit TP within 35 seconds. Look forward in book map. Okay, I got you. Nick, how do you get the point of control in book map? I got the VWAP. How do you get the point of control? Send you a link later. All right, appreciate it. Yeah. Bro is trading atoms and electrons. You waiting for price to hit the midpoint of the 8 a.m. orb? I don't trade that strategy. I have a buddy in here who is trying to learn that strategy, and it's what he's looking to trade. So I have it marked out just so I can help him. I'm familiar with the strategy. And I think it does have a pretty nice success rate. So I don't necessarily steer people away from it. It's not what I personally trade, though. How's the indicator coming? Slow, man. I'm actually learning coding right now. A class that I'm taking this semester is a statistics course, and I'm learning coding. So the progression of the indicator that I'm trying to build is kind of keeping pace with the class that I'm taking. It has nothing to do with, it's a statistics course, but just the general concept of coding I'm learning as I am trying to build this indicator. And I want it to be a very refined thing, a very refined product before I put it out there, because I don't want it to be half-assed. It did, Pete, but there's a problem with the way that it opens for some reason. I was going to ask you for the source code, but then I felt like I would be kind of a jerk asking for that, because it won't let me pull the source code out of what you sent me. But it just basically is a read only, and it shows the trades that you've taken. Like basically what you sent me is trades that you've taken using that indicator, and it's not I can't proactively use it. You know what I mean? I can't forward test it or do anything with it. All I can see is the example. It's basically just a snapshot in time of you using the indicator. You'll email it? Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, I'd like to try to throw it on here and mess around with it just to see what I can. See if I can add anything from it into what I already have. Is 3 micros on NQ safe to start with on my funded? Yes. I think it's a good size, Caleb. Typically, there's a guy, PJ Trades, who's taught me a lot about trading. He's a very good trader. His rule of thumb for funded accounts is 1 micro for every 500 of drawdown that you have available. I think that's a good rule for most people. I've heard platforms will deny payouts for certain scalping behavior. I haven't had that experience, man. I know that if you're YOLOing trades and being irresponsible, or you're hedging or doing something like that, they could potentially question your trading strategy. But I haven't personally experienced any of that. How are you doing scaling back up? Right now on my Tradeify accounts, I am in profit right at $1,000. So I've been slow and steady building back up. Tradeify are the only accounts that I have right now. What is your next move after college? When you're looking for a breaker set up, what time frame are you looking for? I bounce around, Jack. It depends. You can see it presented on different time frames. So anything from the 15-minute down is typically what I'm looking at. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute are ideal, but 5 minutes is also nice. I mean, anything where it's clearly presented. What is your next move after college with all your financial experience? To continue to do this and expand into real estate. At some point, I plan to build to open a drug and alcohol rehab facility. That's down the road a little bit. That's not really something that I'm going to do, obviously, for the money. That's more something that I want to do to give back. Canceled my TPT account and got charged 102 last night. I'm trying to get refunded. I'm annoyed. That is frustrating. Make sure that when you go into TPT, there's like an X thing next to the account. It sounds like that might have been what you did, but just to make sure, like, next to your blown account, there should be like an X in there that you can hit that'll cancel the subscription. Still working on that. Yeah, the private jet company that's still definitely an idea. I think the overhead cost for that is more than I can really get involved with at this point. You'd really need some money backers to help you with that. But I still like that idea. Price is coming back down here. We got news in 15 minutes. Own the jets, and then you can lease them out through companies. I mean, there's several different ways to do it, man. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Typically, the easier route would be to lease them through companies that have the proper certifications, because the certifications are time consuming to acquire and they're expensive. So you could own the jets and then lease them through certain companies to operate them and whatnot. Bookmap is not necessarily showing shorts. No, not at this time. There is liquidity down to 25,670-ish, but I still think we're going higher here. Yeah, you usually cut them in like 10%. So it can be, it cuts into the profits, but saves money. So since it's so above the 8 a.m. candle short, if it drops, no. If you're only trading that strategy, Matthew, you might not take a trade today. That's just how that works out. Like I know RP, if he doesn't get a chance to set up with his strategy, he just doesn't take a trade. And that's the way responsible traders approach things. Like if you don't see your setup, you just shut it down and go do something else with the day. There's too many opportunities on other days where you can make serious money to risk, losing on a day where the probability is not there for your specific strategy. What platform do you recommend for a first time? I would say right now, Tradeify Select plans are probably the go-to for a first-time trader. Why a rehab? Because I personally have been to rehab several times, and it helped me out tremendously. It saved my life. So I think if rehabs are done properly, like the one that I went to, they can be life-changing for people. And I would do my best to model the facility that I opened off of the one that I went to. You're at break even? Nice, man. Would you like to make a real estate wholesale company? No, I would be more in the commercial real estate market. I think residential is fun to do, but I think the real money's in the commercial side of things, and it wouldn't be commercial wholesale. It would be, the leasing of commercial real estate is huge money, man. If you can get into that market, like massive shopping centers and things like that, multi-use shopping centers and things of that nature where you're collecting lease. Big money. Up 600, should I get off? Yeah, I think that's a good day, man. I wouldn't risk giving any of it back. Nice, Philip. What time should I give up on the orb? Well, we got news at 10. I think if we were to dump right now, we would potentially be going down to London low. So we'll see. I'd say 10 o'clock, see how we're looking after news hits. How you feeling today? I'm feeling good, man. What broker do you recommend for funded accounts? I think Tradeify Select plans are great for beginners. Pushing hard through this liquidity here on the book map. What up? It's going all right, man. It's going all right. Start of a new week, new month. Decided to get after it. Samir, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I'm doing all right. Still getting over this chest cold or whatever, just the little bit lingering effects of it, but I'm feeling good. You had a good month? Nice, man. I did not. I'm glad somebody did though. Now 150 away from passing eval. There you go, man. Slow and steady. Don't let the proximity to the target allow you to take stupid trades. Some of my stupidest trades have been when I'm so close to passing an eval. Just stay patient. You should be able to force a Genko. You should be able to force a log out of any other connections that are signed in. Which prop firm? It says it. Take Profit Trader. It didn't work. That's weird. Yeah, man. Best month yet. I am one trade away from passing my second funded with Apex. Very nice, man. Very nice. First trade on the funded up 2,000, done for the day. Xander, what firm are you with? Made 300 for the day. Now time to journal. There you go, stuffed. Very nice, man. Discipline. Some of the most important journaling is when you're doing well or hitting good trades, because when times are tough, it gives you something to look back on, to know what you were doing that was working that maybe you weren't doing when things aren't going well. Tradeify Select, Leo. Leo, Tradeify Select plans, I think they're some of the best for beginners because the profit target is only 2,500. You get 2,000 worth of drawdown. You get the opportunity once you pass to select a daily payout plan if that's what you want. I think there is something to be said for the mental hurdle of taking a payout that kind of breaks a barrier that is really tough to break. So the opportunity to take that on a daily basis once you are funded, you have to reach a buffer. There's a buffer you have to reach. But once you reach that buffer and funded, after everything above that, it's withdrawable. Up to $1,000 on a 50K account. So I think there's something to be said for that. And I think the rules are very easy to understand. There's nothing too complicated. So Tradeify Select is who I recommend. I mean, my girlfriend, she's trading a Tradeify Select for her first eval. There's other people who I've recommended that's what they use. So, I mean, the people who I love who are closest to me, that's who I tell them to go with. So that's who I would tell anyone who asks. Top Step just started using funded. Want to get a couple payouts on there before trying Apex. Xander, Apex for me is one of those firms that is not the foundational aspect of a portfolio. I think that it's one of those ones where once you've kind of established a foundation with maybe Top Step, maybe Tradeify, maybe Take Profit Trader or Lucid, and you've gotten max allocation on those firms and you're consistently taking payouts, then you would move to Apex because you can have 20 funded accounts at a time. There's 8 days between payouts with Apex. They have a lot of rules that you have to follow. There's certain things I love Apex for the scalability of them, but they wouldn't be my next go-to if I was recommending a firm to you. If you're only with one firm currently, I wouldn't say Apex would be the next best option. But you do what you want. That's just my opinion. I would say after Apex or after Top Step, I would jump over to Tradeify or Take Profit Trader. And then from there, I would jump to Lucid or take Profit Trader, whichever one you haven't picked in that first go round. And then at that point, maybe jump to throw in some Apex in there. I don't use my funded futures, no. How many ticks would we call it a good trade? I don't go by ticks. I go by points. But it all depends on the if you're on ES, anything, 5 to 10 points on a mini is on one mini contract is pretty good money. I appreciate that, Xander. Yeah, I mean, part of it though is up to the person. Like, depends on your strategy, what you trade. There's some firms that are better for certain strategies than others. But I do think that Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, Lucid, those need to be in the mix of firms that people use if they're trading prop firms, because those are just high quality firms. What's up, Nora? What's my bias? Orthodox, you're a little late, man. Market's been open for half an hour. We got news coming. News coming in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah, we could rip down here with the news. We'll see. Manufacturing PMI coming out in 1 minute and 47 seconds. forexfactory.com. forexfactory.com is where you can get the news. You can filter it so it's only US news and so that it's only red folder news. Yeah, I have tried that. FinViz is good for just the overall broad picture, but if you're trying to hone in on news releases, Forex Factory is what you want. I like FinViz a lot, man. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool website. 40 seconds here. 40 seconds. This is just this is the mini chart for NQ. This is regular ES, but the regular NQ, the full-size NQ chart just looks jumbled. So I use the mini chart. I rely heavily on ES though to kind of dictate what we got going on. But I don't have any special settings on. You gotta zoom in and out and control everything to kind of get it looking how you want. 5 seconds here. Good luck, everybody. A little wick higher there. Print 52.6. Forecast was 48.5. Better than expected PMI there. See what that does. Passed my 300K last night. There you go. Yeah, let's see if this dumps. Retest and a move higher here, maybe. It's not a whole lot of liquidity being shown on the book map here. Orders up at 25,800 on NQ. Orders down to 25,720 as well. 715 now. Looks like it might push. What's up? Yo. How's it going, man? Pushing higher, orders coming in higher, dragging price up here. Not yet. Quiz, no. About to take these orders, I believe, at 25,800 on NQ. All the way up to 810 potentially. Stalling there, right at the 90s. 25,790 rejection. Push up here to 25,810 potentially if we break this 90 level. Keep rejecting right at the 90. There's 90. Push through now. There's 895. There's 8. Getting ready to hit 8. Rejecting there at 95. Coming back down to 85. You need to push through these 90s and I think it'll take off. Back into the 90s here. It's having a hard time. There we go. There's up to the 96. Push to the 800 there. Moving slower than I expected, yeah. It's having trouble with these 90s here. If it can push through these 90s into the 800s, I think it'll just take off. But it's having trouble. It keeps rejecting right there, basically at 96. There's 96 again, touched to 97. There's the 800s. And then this is getting ready to, I think this is top's getting ready to blow off up to 830s, I believe. Yeah. I think it's getting ready to take off. Little pullback there. Order stacked to 830 and then up to 850 after that. Those 800 levels. Good to be back, MS. Nathan, what's up, man? What are you thinking? Not thinking a whole lot. Just watching this. This is not my setup. So just keeping an eye here. Their orders stacked up to 830 right here. A pretty clean line of orders stacked up to 830. So I think we're getting ready to head up a little higher here. Question of what we're going to do before then. Getting some orders coming down into the 805 area now. Yanking and pulling, pushing and pulling, I should say. Here comes the 830. Yeah, exactly. Better to not be in than in a trade you don't want to be in. A little rejection back down to 815 there. Pull back a little bit back to the low 20s. Back up. There's 30. Touch 30. Somebody could have scalped the hell out of that, dude. I just gave you a play-by-play of what the market did for the past 40 points, 50 points. Somebody could have just made some money. I did. There you go. I could have made money. Yeah, I did. I could have. Made 500. Boom. 900. There you go. It's kind of annoying when it's like that because you know it's going to happen. You can't get in. Exactly. Yeah. Because you all of a sudden could get a pullback like this out of nowhere. Like you got orders stacked to 25,805 now. So rejecting right at that 30. But excuse me. It is annoying because somebody would say, well, you just gave that call out. Why didn't you take it? Because of this right here. I mean, I was pretty clear about where the price was going, but I didn't want to risk it. Like I said, I didn't have a good month in January. I have a rule right now where I'm trading one setup, one trade, and that's what I'm taking. So that's why I wasn't in on that. Made 1.2. There you go. Glad you guys made some money. What market is this? This is NASDAQ futures. Can you show ES? Yeah. Only had one trade left for the day, waiting for a good one. Why not have a tight stop loss so you can get a trade in? I'm not that desperate to take a trade, man. It's Monday. Just trying to be super patient. Looking back on my journaling for what worked when I was crushing it in November and December and sticking to that. Can you explain how you walk away from the charts after a win and kiss and loss? Honestly, man, don't overcomplicate it. Take your mouse, look at that little X in the top right corner, click that X, and then you go to your start menu and hit shut down. And I'm not being sarcastic. It's literally that simple. We overcomplicate things because we want to excuse the fact that we didn't make the simple decision of walking away. And it really is that simple. Literally close it and walk away. I'm not being a smart aleck. I'm being dead serious. Like we overcomplicate it. I'm guilty of it too. But it is as simple as hitting that X, shutting it down, and walking away. If you can't resist opening it back up, leave the house. Go work out. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Go to the park. Go do something else. I'm being dead serious, Caleb. I'm trying to give you a real answer that's not being sarcastic. So I hope that didn't come across as sarcastic. How'd you get introduced to the unicorn model? It's one of the models in the ICT mentorship. And T-Trades goes over it pretty extensively. There's other models that I do trade. I think that's just an easy identifiable model for somebody who's newer. It's a very high probability model. Little 805. There you go, man. Very nice. All right, Janko, have a good day, man. Yeah, don't full port on your phone. Don't go outside and get back on your phone. Delete whatever it is on your phone. That I have no trading on my phone. I don't trade from my phone. If I'm not here, one of the rules that I stick to, because it's cost me a lot of money, like Thanksgiving, it cost me some money. If I'm away from my setup here, I don't trade. Because I've had crap happen that has cost me a lot of money. If I'm away from this setup right here, there's no trading that goes on. I look at the charts sometimes, like I have TradingView on here, but I don't have any of my accounts tied to it. I like the continuation model. I like Jack, honestly. I love doing what I just called out right there. I have a hard time doing it on stream, but there are days when I'm not streaming where like last week I made some money trading that kind of order flow, like watching the order flow in the book map and getting in and doing that. I really enjoy doing that. To me, that's high probability trading. When you're operating based on the information that you're seeing in Bookmap, that can be more beneficial than going off of candlesticks. Doc, what's up, man? How's the rebuild going? It's going slow and steady. All right, have a good one, man. Appreciate you being here. Was trying to make 50 to meet the consistency target for the day, and then I lost 10 and locked myself out. That's smart, man. I've had days like that, like some days where I'm like, okay, all I need is a $50 day to be eligible for a payout, because I need my 5th day or whatever of profitable trading, and I've ended up losing a bunch of money. I mean, that's always some of the worst times, man, is trying to hit those small little targets like that. Which pair? I don't trade Forex, man. This is NASDAQ futures. Is this your main source of income? It is, yeah. It is. How you been, Doc? You doing all right? Have not taken a trade, no. Not yet. Patience is a virtue. Trade features, Maya. I saw, speaking of patience, man, I saw TikTok really has people like, I think that, how do I say this without coming across like a hater? TikTok has, the TikTok live traders that are constantly streaming have really warped people's mind about what effective or responsible or professional trading looks like. I was thinking about this last night. I was going through, PJ posted a video yesterday, PJ Trades, if anybody follows him, he posted a video about the news for the week. It was a news for the week. And somebody commented, "Yay, can't wait to watch you only take 2 trades," or something like that. And what people don't realize is some of the most profitable traders in the world will take 1 or 2 trades, maybe a week or sometimes in a month. They're not sitting here taking 5 or 6, 7, 8 trades in a day, and they damn sure are not, I mean, most of the time, not trading every single day. But yet you have these TikTok live traders that are sitting here and their charts, look like this. They got 10 different positions that they've taken in the past hour. And it's like, dude, that's not profitable trading. Like you can be really effective at taking less trades with taking less trades. I know that's and it's so hard to do because it's like your brain thinks, okay, more trades equals more money, but that's not reality. I thought it's so funny to see somebody comment something like that. It's like, dude, 2 trades in a week is a lot if you're like a professional trader. Do you use your own money to trade or you use funds? It's both. They be taking trades on the weekends somehow. Yeah, market's not even open. They're taking trades. Social media makes it seem like you need to trade every day. Yeah, I mean, there are people who scalp. Like I watch Rips, and he trades pretty frequently, and he's very effective. Trading order flow and momentum. But the majority of traders who are very good at this, who have been doing this for a long time, they don't trade that frequently, and they make a lot of money. Anyone talking crap on PJ is probably a rookie. Yeah, they're new to the game. Yeah, they don't understand, dude. PJ knows what he's doing. He called him a course seller. That was what he did. He called him a course seller. I was like, dude, for one, PJ doesn't sell a course. The majority of everything that he teaches, you can go find on his YouTube page. And PJ is legit, man. He's one of the guys in the industry that you can pretty much. He's legit. Yeah, Rip starts at like 8 a.m. Sean, you watch him. I think you've commented before that you watch his stuff. So he starts at like 8, and then he's done by like 10. Do you ever want to try swing trading? Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to, I think T-Trades is going to put a video out on swing trading. I mean, I get the general idea, but I'm sure he's got some insight on it that I haven't heard before. I'd love to hear what he has to say. I definitely in the future would love to get into swing trading. What's PJ's account name? PJ Trades. No, Mars, we haven't taken anything. Because they trade for real and then sit there and live stream and then put positions on screen for views after. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to go grab some Sunshine LaCroix. Dude, I got this new flavor, Beach Plum. Never had it before. Very good. Highly recommend. You reckon you could swing trade and day trade together? Yeah, just different accounts. You would probably swing trade with your personal capital account in a different brokerage, and then do your day trading in separate. Do you think we reject out of the 4 hour from Thursday on NQ or ES? Haven't even looked. Could. I mean, we're pumping pretty hard here, so I wouldn't just automatically assume that, but yeah, lose money on both accounts. I'm up 1,000 on my XFA. There you go. Very proud of you, DT. Yeah, 712 is that point of control there, Nick, that you were talking about. Yeah, we're pumping hard through this 4 hour on ES. There are some orders below down to 69.93 on ES, but I wouldn't really count on that. You got very few orders down to 25.885 on NQ. Yeah, I haven't got an entry on any of this, man. It's just been pumping. Jace, are you on the stream right now? I just saw your message. If you're in the stream right now, say something real quick. Good job, Caleb. That's hard to do, man. Way to do it. Hope you have a good day. You been in the gym today? Not yet, man. Not yet. I go in the afternoon. Ever listened Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau? No, I haven't. Is that a book or a podcast? I have chest today. Yeah, I had back and bi yesterday, legs the day before. I have chest today. I'm with you, Everett. CD set he sold a long time ago. I found for free on Rumble. I'll check that out. I'll check it out, Kyle. I'll definitely check that out. If I early close with the trade, do I still make the money? Yeah. If you're up. You up right now, Matthew? You just hit the X. Hit the X and it'll close it on the place where you started the position. Do I like how my journey is going? Yeah, I do. Yep. Made a lot of money. Enjoying it. Doing good, man. Doing great. Entered at 827. You're up nicely. Yeah, 187 is good, man. 187 is good. I'm an iron worker that's going to go back to work soon. You recommend I trade Asia? No, I don't. I know that sucks, but I wouldn't. I'd wake up, you're better off, higher probability, in my opinion. Now, there's people that are, I love Asia. Not to mock you, Tristan. I'm sorry if you're in here. I'm not mocking you. But there's people who love Asia. What I would recommend doing is waking up earlier and trading part of London. I think you'd have higher probability, more volatility, or more volume. Would I change anything? More discipline at certain times in the past, but I feel like I'm executing well now. I sound like a salesperson. No, you didn't sound like a salesperson, man. It's a good pitch. Still in the trade you called earlier. Very nice. Trail low stops. This could turn around. I mean, not likely, but it could. Or just don't sleep. Don't recommend that. Sleep is a crucial part of trading. What is my setup? I look for a sweep of a key level, like the target. But, what we used to get, and I think PJ made a video on this too, not to keep referencing him, but he made a video that was spot on. When I first started trading, man, the way that sessions would go is you'd get basically a sweep of a low, like an Asia low or a London low, and then you could pretty much guarantee that you would target the opposing liquidity, which would have been London high or Asia high. So what I would look for is you'd look for a sweep of a key level, V-shaped recovery, breaker formation or a break of structure, a a gap to form, a retest of the gap, and then you just open a long for the moon. So that's typically what I like to trade. Tim, I wouldn't be looking for the short off the bat because of how hard we've been pumping, man. I know that we're in the 4 hour on NQ. We're also at the top of a 4 hour on ES that could get inverted. We got a 1 hour also. It is a 1 hour as well. So we got 33 minutes left on that. So I'm not necessarily just automatically looking for the short here. It could happen. That's why I was saying that the person who was in those longs to trail the stops. How long did it take you? I traded for 4 years before I really started seeing great results, man. How much snow did you guys end up getting? I want to say we got like 8 inches. 6 to 8 inches. How many points do you typically trail? I usually use swing points as a trail. So like if I was trailing this trade, I would probably have it like right here. That's not necessarily a swing point, but that's where we had the last down close 5-minute candle. If you were on the 15-minute, I'd probably put it at the base of this 15-minute candle. We do have orders coming in right now, lower down to 25,850. But I use market structure to place stops. I don't use necessarily points. Man, it isn't melting. Well, it's only, I think it's still in the 20s here. Yeah, it's 26 degrees right now here, so. How many trades have you taken? 0. Zilch. Nada. Haven't seen what I want to trade. Did trading get you in the gym, or have you always been a gym person? I started working out at military school when I was like 15. Worked out for a number of years and then took a break from the time I was like 21 until I was about 27, 28. So I've worked out a good bit of my whole life, but took a pretty long break and then got back into it. Was not correlated with trading. It's correlated with getting sober. What was the change after 4 years that allowed you to see results? Realizing that my rules work, and if I follow them, I'll make money. How do you have your book map set up? I don't have anything special, man. I really don't have anything special, especially right now. I don't really have anything turned on that's like apart from default. I have my bubbles turned up a little bit. If you look at the YouTube, you can see it. I'm live on the tube as well right now. I'd look for a break of structure, potentially. Need a Christian Trades autobiography. People wouldn't want that, man. Tree free for 3 weeks. There you go, man. That's huge. It'll sharpen you up and it'll motivate you. You'll find some levels of motivation that you didn't even know that you were missing before. We're coming up on that time, MS, where I'm probably going to shut it down. Are those session indicators, or do you mark those sessions out yourself? So I use a session indicator. The ICT kills in and pivots indicator marks out these sessions, and then I use the Ray tool. I posted a video on this, man. If you go to my page, you'll see one of the recent videos I posted is exactly how I mark all this stuff out. The first thing I do in the morning when I get on the charts. Explain what happened with NQ. It pumped. Do I think that trading 5 minis for like 4 points is trading? I don't necessarily. I mean, not really. I mean, some people do that. I don't know. To me, that's like to each their own. I mean, Rips is pretty aggressive with his trades. He only looks for 10 points or so when he's trading, and he's in a lot of contracts. He's in for a lot of contracts. So it depends, man. It depends. That long was so obvious for the daily. I'm sure you made a lot of money then. Very high probability longs. It's interesting that you say that. Very high probability longs when we've shown that we rejected extremely aggressively out of this new week opening gap, and we're tapping back into it with a doji candle on the 15 at market open. A blind long there. I don't know how that's obvious, but I did think we were bullish. I did think that we were bullish, but I just didn't have faith that this new week opening gap was going to get inversed. Wanted to see how we were going to react there, and we just never got a pullback after that. Tons of liquidity was stacked up lower too, so. Ryan, what's up? Did you get most of your accounts back? I have 5 accounts back now. We're getting there. It was very high probability. Good, man. Good. I think you don't know what the definition of the word probability is, Luke. That's awesome, Kyle. Keep it up, man. I can promise you that is going to be a game changer for you. I was having this conversation last night, actually. When you're in it and you're doing it every day, you don't realize how much motivation and stuff is being taken away from you that once you get free of that, it just blows your mind. The new Fed, is he trustworthy? I don't know, man. I was listening to Condoleezza Rice. I don't know if you know who that is. She was, she's Secretary of State under the Bush II. She's a professor at Stanford, and I'm not sweating, guys. These are stains. She was talking about how this new Fed chair was actually one of her students, and how she was singing his praises. I get suspicious when I see a member of the establishment praising somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like you see somebody like Condoleezza Rice was a part of the establishment. Whether she still is or not, I don't know. But I'm interested to see what he'll do. I think the Federal Reserve in general is a scam. Was wrecking my poor 20-year-old brain. Yeah, dude, you're at the peak of like brain development. Don't stun it. Yo, don't give him a hard time. If his model was saying that was the setup and he missed it, good for him. I'm just saying, according to the read that my analysis, we had a lot of sell side liquidity built up here. We had just taken London high. We're tapping into a new week opening gap. I mean, there's plenty of, in my opinion, in my analysis, there would have been plenty of reason here. We're showing a clear rejection out of the new week opening gap. It would have been a pretty easy justification to be thinking about a short here. That's the only thing that I'm saying. So in terms of just like saying that they're clear longs, I don't know that I would necessarily agree with that, given exactly what I just said. A lot of low resistance sell side liquidity. We had just taken London high. We got London low, Asia low down here. We were tapping in to the new week opening gap. You know, somebody had said, I'm taking a short. I'd have said, I could see why. Yeah, Jace. So you got to make sure after you've grouped them together, then click the group and make sure there's a check mark or whatever to make sure that the group is activated. So you group them together in Tradeovate, and then in that drop down menu, you'll also have the group, whatever you labeled it, group one or whatever. Make sure you click group one so that it has like a check mark by it or whatever, so that it shows you that the group is actually activated. We still got orders on Bookmap higher. Uh, 25,900 is where that next closest batch of orders is. Let me know if that worked, Jace. Why was I so confident? We were clearly. Why was I so confident in that push from 25? Well, it was actually from 25,790 or 785 up to 25,830. But reason I was so confident is we were clearly pushing in a bullish direction there, and the Bookmap was just absolutely lit up in that direction. You could see the orders firing off. You see how we got orders firing up here? And we have these orders firing down below us now. That's kind of pulling this little pullback here. All of that action was above us. There was not a whole lot of it below us. And so that was just clear indication that price was going to get yanked higher. That's what I was going off of, Jack. That's why I said price is going to go higher here. I just don't know what it's going to do before it does. I was referring to these little pullbacks. You see these little pullbacks here that we're getting currently? So I'm going to zoom in here a little more. You can see how orders are firing off above us, and then you get these flashes below us. The less of these orders you have flashing below you, from my experience with Bookmap, price is going to continue higher at a pretty aggressive rate. So that's what I was going off of. Let me know if that made sense, Jack. S&T. Yeah, I see you. me use the restroom real quick. So right now would another place be a good? No, not necessarily, man. I think we've pumped pretty hard here, and the book map is not as lit up as it was earlier. As you can see, like there's not nearly as much volume lit up to the upside here. We're getting a pullback to this 870 level, I believe. So I would say just hold off. I gotta use the restroom though. I'm about to wet my pants. Be right back. There you go, Matthew. Yeah, don't get greedy. Don't give any of it back. Anyone know what Life of Epic? You've been in here so much, man. Have you not heard me talk about Bookmap? Go to my link in the Discord. Go to Bookmap, and you download the software. It's not a website. You get the software off of the website. If you got a code in your bio, I know you ain't making bread. You know how I know you're not making bread? Because you're in somebody else's TikTok live at 10:44 a.m. on a Monday talking shit. That's how I know you're broke. Not only do you not make money trading, you don't even have a job. Didn't think that one through, did you? When are you releasing the course? No course, man. Not a course seller. It's interesting to hear that, though. If you have a code in your bio, I know you're not making bread. Again, I'll reference Rips. Rips, I think he cleared a little over 3 million in his personal capital account last year in 2025. He has a code. Personal capital, trades it live every day. Hardly uses prop firms. Only recently has he been using prop firms so that he can kind of display the effectiveness of them. Trades personal capital for the most part. Dude cleared over $3 million last year. You're going to say he's not making bread? Just yapping. Just a yapper. Who helped you with your psychology? PJ Trades. Yeah, if you're struggling with your discipline, your psychology, and I'm not doing it for you, I highly recommend checking out PJ Trades. Have you met him personally? Not yet. He just moved to about a couple miles away from where my girlfriend lives. So we're going to get together. I haven't been able to get down there to see my girlfriend in a couple weeks. When I do go next time, we're planning on getting together. Yeah, Matthew, stick to the rules, man. 1 or 2 trades and call it a day. And journal the trades that you took. I got if you go look in the Discord, search for journal template, or just search for journal. I put a template in the Discord for like what you could use to journal your trades if you don't know how to actually do that. So make sure you're journaling, because that's huge. It's very helpful. Can I explain the Apex eval rules? There's really, I mean, there's very few rules in the eval stage, man. You could technically pass in one trade if you wanted to, if you could hit a good one. Let's see. I'm gonna send it to you right now, Matthew. Should have it. I just sent it to you. There's trailing drawdown. So if you were in a trade that went up in profit and then it came back a certain amount, and that was your drawdown, then you blew the account. You got to pay attention to the trailing. There is trailing drawdown. So what you need to do, Jace, if you're in Trading View, or excuse me, if you're in Tradeovate, press the plus button in the top left corner where it says accounts. You need to drag that and drop it over to the right and down to the bottom of the screen. That'll show the accounts that you currently have. In that window right there on the top right corner of that accounts window, it'll say view settings and then select columns. Go over to select columns and then drag. You'll see something that says DIST drawdown net lick. Make sure you drag that to the right so that that's visible, and that shows you the available drawdown you have per account. So if you do that and it has brackets around it for the amount, that means that you went over the amount of drawdown you have. If there's no brackets, then it should just tell you what you have left. I'll check that out, Alex. Had no issues, just thought I'd mention it. Yeah, trade scale, I'll check it out. There's several that have been popping up recently that seem good. How much profit do you need in Apex to be eligible for a payout in a 50K? You have to be, so if it's a fresh 50K account, you have to make $2,600 to be over the buffer, and everything above that is withdrawable, but you need to make sure that you're abiding by the 30% consistency rule. I'm not liking the displacement in that, though. I'm not too thrilled about the displacement. Yeah, Hugo, it's been challenging, man. It has been challenging. What do I think about shorts on NQ? We're getting there, but I don't know, man. It's hard for me to trust it with how aggressive we've been pumping. It should say DIST, D-I-S-T, DIST drawdown net lick. So drag that over to the right so that it's visible. All right, Nick, appreciate you being here, man. Discord link is acting dumb for me. Copy the link and open it in a different browser. If you try to open it inside of TikTok, it won't work. Can you repeat how to do that on Trade Yeah, so you click the top left corner where there's a massive plus symbol that says add modules when you hover your cursor over it. In that list of things that you can add, there's one that says accounts. So you drag that and put it on the bottom part of your screen. After that's in the bottom part of your screen, it's a window in and of itself. So you go to the top corner of that window, the accounts window, where it says view settings, and then it'll have when you click view settings, it'll have a drop down that says select columns. Hit select columns. And you'll see a bunch of options that pop up there. The one that shows you how much drawdown you have available is the one that says dist to daily, or dist drawdown net lick. So drag that to the side that says visible. Let me know if anybody had any problems with that was trying to follow that. %50 trading, 50% IT support, yeah. The bookmap link, if you click on prop firms, prop firm sales, the bookmap is the second thing from the top. So you click that link, and you also, if you're going to buy it, you want the Global Plus plan. That gets you a subscription to bookmap itself. And then you need to pay for their data as well. So you'd get the CME data. So the discount will apply to the bookmap subscription itself. It'll get you 20% off. You got to click that link, and then you'd also use code CWT. You'll get 20% off. And then you'll have to buy data as well. So the total will be roughly $100. It's worth the 100. I think it is very worth it once you figure it out and you can learn it. I mean, I don't know if you were in here when I was calling out that trade earlier, but I mean, if somebody had taken that scalp that I was calling out, was about 50 points of a trade, and that was strictly bookmap trading right there. So I mean, you can make that, you can easily make that 100 back pretty quickly. So I think it's worth it. I use it. I pay for it. I don't know how I traded before without it. But you got to, if it's, I'm not going to recommend you do it if it's going to stretch your budget too thin or whatever. It's going to take you a while to learn it and get effective with it. Yes, Matthew. I do. I wouldn't call it profitable. I would say if you're consistently having good results, if you're able to maintain that paper account with profits, and you're not dropping below the $50,000 threshold or the $48,000 threshold, and you have an effective strategy that you can explain, you're journaling, you're doing all the right things, you've developed a system, then yeah, I definitely think that by then you should be good. Yeah, I can show you a quick summary of how it works. I mean, right now this price action is not the best, but looks like we're definitely going to go lower here, at least to this 25,800 level. So these levels, these are limit orders stacked on the chart. Market orders are the volume bubbles right here. You see part of it's red, part of it's green. Whichever one is more dominant, whichever color is more dominant, that's the orders that are basically what there's more of. So there's more sell orders than buy orders here currently. And all these flashing and these pulling of this is pushing and pulling of orders trying to drag price lower. So we got orders all the way down to that 800 level, which is about 23 points lower than where we are right now. Little pullback, maybe up to the 35 level. And they just pulled those orders, they yanked them away. So they're trying to fish price a little higher, probably people trying to get entries. There we go, there's a little dump lower there. This is called Bookmap. Pulling up to 30 there. People trying to get entries. Waiting for a pullback for shorts here, Smart. I think the shorts ran on NQ. I mean, maybe you get a pullback, but look at the Bookmap. I mean, it's down to the 800 level. I think it'd be tough to get a pullback. Maybe a pullback into the 30s again. You could potentially get an entry here, but I think it kind of ran without you if you're not in on this. How do you get this chart? This is a software called Bookmap. You download it at bookmap.com, pay for the data, and learn to read it. It's level 2 data software. And these orders are thinning out a little bit here as we're hitting close to 11 o'clock. These orders you see how people are yanking orders here at the 815 level. So this could be, we'll keep an eye on this. This could be a potential for the end of that dump. Bunch of orders. See how the line was dark orange right here, and then it just went away. So yeah, here's the pullback. So people yanked those orders out. Looks very cluttered. This is Bookmap, man. What does it do? It looks very cluttered. This is actually very uncluttered at the moment. It shows you level two data. So there was a pullback into the 40s. Let's see where we go from here. All right, Ben, have a good day, man. I don't blame you. Orders coming in red. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, God bless you too, Benjamin. Thanks for being here, man. Order flow momentum trading, Saint, but you can combine this with any sort of strategy. Gives you an idea. Wow, I'm super bright looking. It gives you an idea that is what controls that what you just saw there is controlling the market, and that's what is controlling the market. Those are orders that are limit orders that are stacked up, plus market orders that are being placed, and the aggression in which they're being placed. It's giving you an insight into. It's basically detailing candlesticks and liquidity that's stacked up in the market. How you lock yourself out on trading view, you got to do the risk management things. There's no lockout specifically like a set button, but you can do risk management so that you have a daily target profit or a daily loss limit or things like that. You still trade IFEG? I mean, sometimes as a confluence, not strictly. Order flow momentum is huge for me. Is there a site you can see the orders? There's software called Bookmap. There's also Sierra charts. There's also other firms too, or other companies that have their own version of this. I'm gonna hop off, guys. It's 11 o'clock. My rules are to get off at 11, so I'm gonna stick to that. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the engagement. Appreciate the gifts and the likes and the follows and everything. You guys are awesome. How much is Bookmap? It's about $100 a month. About $100 a month. Wow, I look terrible right now with that brightness. Holy cow. You guys have a good day. Stay blessed. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Back at it again. So we'll see you then. Will do, man. You be safe too. Thank you. Jack, appreciate it, man. Coop, appreciate it. Lucas, Outdoor, Benjamin. Appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you tomorrow.